All right, so today I wanted to talk about why I think it's really bad, very detrimental for a Facebook administrator or moderator to lock comments on a thread within that group, especially when it's dedicated to commentary and theory and stuff like that, and the impacts that will have. And I really want to talk about two major impacts that I think something like that will have on a group and why you shouldn't do it. Now, if you followed me on Facebook today, especially, what is today? Today is September 20th, 2017. You will probably know the group that I'm talking about. I'm not going to name them specifically because I still think that, you know, they can run their group however they want. But this was a group that I was a part of on Facebook that I am no longer a part of because I don't agree with the policy that they have implemented. So here's what's going on. There was a post from one of the contributors about a YouTube video that they made talking about a certain topic that was a bit controversial. And whenever topics like that come up, there are always people that come out of the woodwork and make comments that are provocative, controversial, rude, and against the group's rules. And what ended up happening was presumably somebody must have reported these comments because all of a sudden the admins or the moderators, I guess, in the group, I'm not quite sure the difference in a Facebook group, but they shut down the comments. They basically said, we need to wait and find out, we need to read through and find out what's going on so that we can remind everybody about this group's rules and whatever. And what that said to me was about this group was two things. The very first thing was that they do not trust us as the community to handle sensitive topics like this. They feel like we are not capable or shouldn't have to essentially deal with trolls in the community, deal with people who conduct themselves in a manner that is not what we would consider appropriate within the group. Right? So what they've said is, you as a community, don't bother standing up for each other. Don't bother telling this person that this behavior is not okay in the group and that it won't be tolerated. Don't bother using the hide post button if you have no interest in this topic, or blocking that person because that's a tool that's available to you on Facebook. Don't do any of that because we're the admins and we're going to take care of this issue for you. We are the White Knight here to champion your cause. Okay? That's what that says to me. You, the community, cannot handle it. You are not mature enough. That's why we're here. I don't personally like that. That's something that I have a hard time with. And I have tolerated that in other groups because those other groups have still provided enough value to me that I can get past that part of it. But the other thing that it does, and I think this is worse, is that it makes the community dependent on the admin, right? It says, because they've already said, you don't need to be the one dealing with this, we will deal with this, right? Now, all of a sudden, what's going to happen, the precedent has been set that you click that report button when something makes you upset. When there's some dissenting opinion that you don't like, the precedent is go run to the admin. Tell the admins, the moderators, whatever the hell they're called, that you don't like something. And then they'll come in, they'll shut down the comments because frankly, they probably don't, especially if it's been going on for a while, they don't have enough time if comments keep coming in to moderate everything. So I understand the mechanism that they used by shutting off the comments. You know, they claimed it was temporary so that they could go through it, review the comments, but it has the effect that now you cannot stand up for yourself and other people can't stand up for you. Other people can't say, this is not what we want in this community. And I don't know if maybe that's what the admins want. Perhaps in some groups they do, but that sets a really bad precedent. And I think for a couple of reasons. One, frankly, as an admin of this group, do you want to be doing that all the time? Right? Do you want to be spending your time in a group that you voluntarily admin, you know, trying to moderate the asinine comments of 2 people when the community could just very easily deal with this themselves? No, I saw the fallout of that exact thing happen in another gaming group that I'm part of. And it took a toll on the admins to the point that one left. And, you know, the other one had to take a break because that kind of nonsense was taking up a lot of their time, was getting to them, right? So do you want to have that precedent set? And 2, do you want to be saying to the community, don't stand up for each other? Don't go out there and say, we don't agree with this, we don't accept this behavior. We'll let the admins deal with it. Okay. Now, obviously, in real life, if you were to do this, happens all the time. I see this constantly, and I'm not going to get into that because that's politics and that's not what this is about. But this also says to me that as a contributor to one of these groups, whether it is text posts in the Facebook group or through live streams, I don't have the confidence that I can bring up a topic that could be considered controversial without fear that the admins will shut it down because they believe the group can't handle it. So if that was the reason that I was in that group, that reason's been taken away. Why should I continue to be in that group? I cannot reasonably have a conversation and have confidence that it will be allowed to continue and that the community will be allowed to discuss it fully until the community has decided that it is no longer necessary to talk about it, right? The admins decide when and what can be spoken about. Now, that's their right. It's your group. You can do whatever you want as an admin. And I have the choice as to whether or not I want to continue to be part of your group. If your group offers other things that I find valuable, then I'll stay. But if I'm there just for conversation, just for interacting with other people so that I can ask questions, that I can learn, that I can grow through conversation, and you shut that down, that's it. I'm done. So anyway, let me take a look. Because I did this as a live stream, I did get a comment. Oh, Troy says, drop some knowledge on me, Sam. I'm so out of the loop. No Facebook drama for a couple weeks. Dude, don't even worry about it, man. You got a little one coming any day here. Like, it's not even worth it. But the point is, and I'll end with this. In Facebook now, we have an amazing ability to connect with people using live stream, right? I wanted to do that with this video, but I felt like I'm going to put this on YouTube, not put it on Facebook, because I don't necessarily want to stir up what that's going to stir up immediately. I will probably share this on social media, and I expect that it will get comments, both positive and negative. I will not shut down those comments. I will deal with those comments as I see fit, but I will allow them to continue, whether they are positive or negative, because I want people to feel encouraged to voice their opinion. And if somebody says something that makes you feel uncomfortable to share your opinion, I will address that. And likely other people in the community will too. And what that will do is that will set a precedent one way or another that either you are welcome in that community, your voice is welcome in that community, and people will stand up for you and let you know, yes, we have your back. We want to hear from you. We don't want this kind of behavior. Or they won't. And then you make a decision as to what you want to do, if you want to stay in that community. Because this is not real life community where you may not have the ability to leave. You may not have the ability to control who you interact with, right? If you live in a town, a city, a country, whatever, you can't necessarily just leave. On Facebook, you can. And even if you don't want to leave, you can block people, you can hide posts, you can do all kinds of stuff to cultivate the digital experience that you want. And in hobby groups, where it's about having fun, learning, doing something that you enjoy, and interacting with people that have similar interests to you, it's okay to say, I don't want to interact with this person. I don't want them to see my posts. I don't want to see their posts. I'm going to block them. People have this thing about blocking people like it's so bad. It's not. It's your damn Facebook. Do whatever you want. Like, cultivate it in a way that's going to make it most pleasant for you. Common sense. But anyway, live streaming. I love live streaming. I think it's a wonderful way for communities to connect to each other because you can put a face and a voice to an idea. You can see somebody talking about this and saying, this is my idea. I feel about it this way. And it personalizes that conversation. Where if somebody just has an avatar without their face and they're just texting in Facebook posts, that's great. And that's a great way to have a conversation, but it's not as personal. So when you personalize somebody, when you can see their face, you can hear their voice, you get to know them a little bit, you're much less likely to attack them verbally. You're much less likely to dismiss them. You're more likely to engage with them as a human being as opposed to just some words on a screen. And when the admins take away that ability or shut down that ability, things will become superficial. So that was my piece. Let me know what you guys think. This is a conversation that I really want to have. You might not want to, and that's okay. But if you feel strongly about this on either side of the issue, let me know. Leave some comments in the comments below. Leave it on social media if I post this up there. I don't know if I will. And, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, maybe go ahead and do that. Give it a like, give it a dislike if you don't like the topic or you think I'm an idiot, whatever. But I want to hear from you. So have a good night.